Hello there, I'm Paul. Gonna tell you a little story about my day today. At one point I thought I was gonna die and scream in shame and just didn't want to participate in the experience. That was an experience I called in. And I'm firmly of the belief now that everything is happening for us and not to us. So let me explain. Now, this is a trend that's been coming up in my life for the last little while, where things that the words I wanted to use was attack me, but I'll call it challenge me and help me learn lessons about myself and my mindset and how my mind is creating for me and causing more suffering and pain than I could ever imagine. So today I've been selling the car that I've had for about the last 5 years because I inherited a newer version and it's time to move on and I have no place to store two cars. So I finally found a young man that was interested and he's having his own struggles and it's all good. And so basically he agreed to buy the car and I said, okay, well, I have a set of 4 tires. They're in my storage unit. And we drove all the way out to the storage unit and the keys that are normally in the console, I'd moved to the new car for my storage unit. So I'm like, oh shit, sorry guy. So I drove him back to where he was staying and saved him a bus trip and a whole bunch of struggle. And then I went back out once I found the keys and took the tires out of the storage unit and put them in the back seat of the car. While I was doing it, I hung my keys on the inside of the storage unit on something that was in there. And the keys had my car keys, my house keys, my badge to get in the building and all these other things. And for the other car. So I'm like, oh shit. So anyways, I finished, I closed the storage unit and I put the padlock on and I'm like, where's my keys? All the keys were locked inside the storage unit and I didn't have a spare key. I had no way to get into my house to find a spare key. There's a big rainstorm coming in with hail and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, how fucking stupid could you be? Why would you do this? Why would this happen? And I wanted to go there, and I normally would, and I'd go into this big sorrow and cry and scream and yell, and I didn't. And with some help from my friend Roxanne, we talk regularly, and she's starting to redirect me to the beliefs that I carry and the wounded and the victim and all this kind of stuff. And all those things came up. They wanted to yell and scream and have a fit and all this kind of stuff like an inner child. But that shit doesn't serve me anymore. So I sat for a little bit and I tried to tell myself I was stupid and how could you be so stupid and all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, feeling like shit, but I chose to stay above it. And then I'm like, how the hell am I going to get out of this? So I phoned my friend Roxanne. She's halfway across the city. And I said, I don't know what to do. And she says, well, isn't there somebody that can help you? And I'm like, no, it's an empty storage unit yard and there's nobody here other than me because the place is closed. It's on Sunday. And anyways, I left that. So I phoned my sons and they piled in the car and they were going to come and pick me up and we were going to go get an angle grinder so I could cut the lock off. It was a heavy duty hardened steel padlock. And then when I was walking to the gate to let them in, I went out through the gate and I was waiting for them and this guy showed up in a sign service truck. It's got a big ladder and a whole bunch of stuff on it. And I just happened to walk up to him. I say, hey buddy, is there any chance you might have an angle grinder that I could borrow for a couple minutes? He says, yeah, sure. He says, I'm not even sure it works, but he handed me an angle grinder and a cord. And I took it over and then my sons arrived and I said, I think I have something and this will save us a whole bunch of time because I would have had to go buy all that stuff because all the tools I have that like that are inside the storage unit. I was feeling pretty sheepish. But anyways, I took the angle grinder, and within 3 or 4 minutes of grinding, the lock was cut off, and we got the keys, and I returned the stuff to the guy, and he was very nice. I said, "Hey, can I give you some money for letting me borrow this or whatever?" He says, "Oh, don't worry about it, buddy. Are you back in?" And I'm glad. And just this huge relief and belief that I'm supported by the world flooded into me and all of that. And all I had to do was be calm and stay positive and not go into my hole. And something far better happened. Like, I could have been there half the day trying to grind the thing off and then having to return the tools I bought and all this kind of stuff because it's not something I'll ever need. And that guy showed up and he was nice about it and just, "Hey, no problem. Go do what you need," or whatever. And I walked it back to him. I gave him a big smile, and I gave him a handshake, and I thanked him. And it's that simple. It's that simple how the universe can support you. It's that simple how there's people around, even though you've been taught over and over and over again that people are unkind and angry and all that kind of stuff. When you're positive, they're positive. And the guy was just like, not even shaken by it. It's like he pulled in the lot after he opened the door because you have to get through the gate. And he says, "Here you go." And I walked over there, and it was just like exactly on a silver platter, exactly what I needed showed up. And the guy didn't want anything for it. It saved me from a big catastrophe, and I probably would have been fucked up for a week in my old self over something like that. And I don't know, I had to phone a locksmith or God knows what else I could have done to get it fixed, but the universe showed me. And all I had to do was ask, and somebody showed up, and it all worked out perfectly. And it was no skin off his back or whatever. He had the tool. It was crazy. The tools were sitting right at the back of his big moving van, the power cord and the grinder. And he says, "I'm not even sure the grinder works, but here, you can try." And it worked perfectly. And my son showed up, and they were just kind of dumbfounded. I don't know how else to describe it by it, but they would have had to drive me around for half an hour, 45 minutes, and I would have had to cut it and do all this kind of stuff. I have to get a new padlock and all these kind of things, which happens, and it's, I don't know, $20 or whatever of craziness. But I learned that my mindset and my coherence, I don't know how else to describe it, to going down the shitty path and falling in the toilet and the hole is the thing that kind of fucked me in the past. And it's not anymore. And I'm looking at it in each case, and each thing that's disrupting me. I've got a neighbor upstairs going creak, creak, creak. You can hear up there, and I just go delete program, cancel, cancel, cancel. That's theirs, not mine, and I don't need to have the piss off in my nervous system. And I'm saying the same to you. We are being guided to make better choices, not to assume the worst, not to have a mindset that says everything never works out and I'm always going to have the worst thing happen. I had the same thing happen this week when I was trying to sell the car. All these people phoned up and they were interested, and then they never phoned back. And I kept crashing. But every time I'd get back up and my friend would help me, and it's like, nope, I'm not going to crash. This car is going to sell. I now have the car sold. It's partially sold. He has to get the license plate and the insurance because he planned on a day that he did not. There's nothing open for insurance and banks and those kind of things today, and registry offices are limited. So that will close tomorrow, and it's going to be perfect. And he's going to have a new car, and it's going to work out for him. And just grateful. And somebody sent me this thing today, and it's beautiful. It just says, just regularly tell yourself that's wonderful. You don't even have to know what the wonderful is or whatever, but that's wonderful. And then have a little smile afterwards. And it's just saying it makes me want to smile. That's wonderful. Look at all that stuff. Look at that negative experience where I locked the keys in. I could beat myself up and say I'm an idiot and cancel, cancel, cancel. I'm not doing that. And I didn't, and very, very rapidly, something came in to assist me. And that's the way the universe works. It's all going to work out. And when my friend said, there's somebody there that could help you or whatever, well, I just had to wait 10 minutes after the conversation, and there was somebody there that could help me. So can you believe that? I believe it. And I'm giving you this example and telling you about it so you can maybe believe that same thing too. So when shit starts to go sideways and your nervous system wants to go, fuck, I'm getting screwed again. And that was me. I was full-on victim for a lot of time in my life. I still am in some areas because that's what I was taught and that's all I knew. And that doesn't mean I was bad. It's just I didn't know any better. Well, now you know better. The opportunity will allow you to change, and the magic is starting to flow in my life. I can't even tell you what's going to be amazing, but a whole bunch of abundance and a whole bunch of new possibilities around my purpose, divine beloveds, maybe more than one. It's all going to happen, and it's all going to be perfect. And I have to stop steering. I have to surrender control. I have to let it show up in the way it wants to show up and not have expectations, because those are the things that crash me all the time in the past. Maybe try it. You might be surprised. I love you. I don't want to keep this too long, but this is amazing knowledge and it'll help you immensely. It's helping me already. My life is changing, and that's where the smile comes in my eyes. And this is real. So try it. And just imagine all the amazing people that are going to show up in your life, all the amazing events, things you couldn't even possibly imagine. I'm letting them all in now. And I'm opening up my genetic system and my past knowledge and all this kind of stuff, and just letting go of all the stuff that no longer serves, all this stuff created tension, contraction, made me have to have lessons, and I no longer need to have lessons. I have divine experiences and things that are crazy, and I could have been locked out of my house for the next 2 days and a big nightmare, and a 3-kilometer, 4-kilometer walk back to my house, and then be locked out at the door on a Sunday where nobody's there to let you back in or anything of the sort. Crazy. Could have been hell. Could have killed me, or felt like it killed me. But I had some sons that were beautiful and grateful, and came and assisted me on a moment's notice, and I'm so grateful for them. And that man that assisted me, I'm so grateful for him. And I welcome in many more blessings in the days to come. And it was very hard. It was not simple to not go down the crying, slickery slope of victimhood. And I've been there so many times, and I'm not going to allow it anymore. Not because I was bad before, but I didn't know any better. And we're learning. We're learning to make choices, control our nervous system, control the reactions of our inner child, control all that pain and suffering that defined us for a very long time. And I'm going to tell you, the world isn't filled with darkness that's there to harm us. The darkness that's been allowed in has given us an opportunity to make new choices. And for a very long time, this world has been based around control and manipulation of people, and it doesn't have to be that way anymore. And we're stepped out of it, and all we have to do is make a choice inside our head. And the magic starts to happen. That's simple. I'm watching the magic, and I'll report back on the magic that does show up. My magic cannot be touched. It's not bleeding. It's not given away to anybody. It's a shining example, and it's divinely protected, just like your magic is too, if you allow it. I love you. I appreciate you watching. Have a good day. You got this. It's magic time.